Brisbane.
Kellen Knight's got away from Spackman. And she's going to create some havoc down this left side for Brisbane. She's allowed that much room.
Yeah, I mean, Kellen Knight, she's tried to put that ball across, and that's the Central Coast. They're pushing out into those positions so that the Brisbane are having to try and shoot from there or put a cross in, whereas, last week Central Coast were letting Sydney play all over them and play through them.
Just while we're watching that replay, Ellen Beaumont's come over the top of Ash Connor as the long balls come through and giving her a bit of a headbutt, I think.
Oh. All right, here's a moment for Dumont, but she's a tall girl and no trouble pulling that one out of the air. Burgess taking on Glowy. Colethorpe back to McShay. So Reuter back in the line. It was that missed Brooke Spence once she suffered that ankle injury. I think that upset their defensive rhythm for a bit.
Yeah, it meant that either Carla Reuter had to come in. Beaumont's gone back from being on that left attacking side back into a left defensive position, so it did change the team around. But with quality players like Brisbane, you should be able to play anyone anywhere, and they could still do a decent job.
Rollison had time for a few touches there, but looking for a player in space. Brisbane marking up well. Rollison to the front.
The game set off at a cracking pace and just seems to have settled a little bit now. Both teams just sort of waiting for the other team to make the mistake or to make the move that opens up the gap for the pass to be played.
Doyle did well. So the grand final next week will be in Sydney. Sydney FC guaranteed that. It'll be at Shark Park down at Cronulla. A little earlier at 10-3. And the winner of this match goes through to join them. So if it's Brisbane, they'll get a crack at defending their title. If it's the Mariners, we're going to have a new W-League champion.
Should be a great match either way.
And a good stadium too. Quite liked the way Shark Park presented itself for a different kind of football. Jeff Hopkins.
Just asking his midfield to sit a little bit deeper and hold their shape a little bit more. He says if they're pushing on too close, they're not leaving enough of the gap for the strikers to get the ball at their feet.
Kingsley. That was a little too easy for Reuter. Likewise, Rollison. She's having a good game.
She is so far. Last week she struggled a little bit, kept the ball a little bit too long on a lot of occasions.
Here's a ball perhaps for Heyman. Heyman has to have a shot as the defence closed in, and she was at quite an angle and a long way out and couldn't keep it down.
The ball just didn't quite drop enough before she took that shot.
Yeah, Heyman's really having to work hard. I mean, the Brisbane defence is putting her under a lot of pressure, but as you can see there, she's getting herself in front of the defender and keeping possession of that ball.
Really the first opportunity to shoot for the Golden Boot of the 2009 season.
That was interesting.
I went to head it and it came off her foot.
And amazingly, she still controlled it and managed a decent pass.
So Michelle Heyman, 11 goals through the regular season. So 4 clear of Lena Karmas, who added 1 yesterday, but it doesn't really count in terms of the Golden Boot calculations. And Sarah Walsh also scoring yesterday. Lloyden very casual with the one-handed take, but
she'll just take her time here. Let a team get forward, let them suck in a bit of air, have a breather, and get set for this next play.
Jill Lloyden before the game is absolutely serious. You can hardly get a look or a smile out of her. She's really concentrating hard on the job that needs to be done. It's part of why she's one of the best keepers going around. And here's Sasha McDonald. An important tackle made by Rachel Doyle. Concedes the corner.
It was good defending there by by the Central Coast. Sasha McDonald's got a lot of pace. They didn't try and jump in and take her. They just dropped off, and at the same time pushed her away from the goal mouth.
I think the big thing there for McDonald as well, I think you could see as she was running with the ball, she was still running with her right foot touching the ball, but the defender was also on her right side. So had she moved that ball to a left to dribble, the defender mightn't have been able to get in and tow that ball away.
Lloyden getting things organised in the goalmouth now as Kate McShay sends in the corner. And McDonald was very thereabouts.
That was a great ball in from McShay. It was right on the edge of the 6-yard box, out of reach of the goalkeeper coming off her line, and plenty of Queensland players streaming in.
They haven't picked up McDonald this time, although she plays it back out of the area. And Kellen Knight manages to force another corner.
Just smart play there. You know, I mean, you're tucked in that little corner, you may as well play for another one. Set yourself up. Brisbane have got some big, tall, strong players, and they're quite good at attacking these balls that come into the box.
Shea again. Can't keep the header down.
Again, though, Colthorpe took that one pretty much unchallenged.
Yeah, great ball in again. I mean, that edge of that 6-yard box, it's just where the keeper can't get it through all those bodies. And with the way that Brisbane attacked that ball, it's going to be a problem.
A little bit static, I thought, the Mariners' defence there.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a few players in there that mark zonally, defensively for the Mariners, and then a few people that mark. But those people that mark have got to really track their runner and block the runner, which is sometimes just getting in their way so they can't make a run.
Kellen Knight and Ashley Connors feeling the left ankle.
It was disappointing there for her. She had the ball going forward at pace, and all of her players were running away from her. No one stopped and checked back to receive the ball and help her out. Ended up getting 2-on-1 and lost the ball.
Anyway, they can get themselves reset, and she's on her feet now. Probably just drifted into an offside position there, but that's with Burgess. Ball away from Glowy. A beautiful run from Joe Burgess. McDonald to her right, but has it now. Tamika Butt, a great turn from her. And no penalty despite the appeals of Brisbane and their handful of supporters here. Just good defence, and Tamika Butt is a little frustrated perhaps.
A little frustrated. She had two players surrounding her in the box, and I think she was really looking for a penalty. I mean, you've got so many bodies in and around there and people.
Oh, it's just thrown the left foot at Rollison, and that's why you wear shin pads. Well, you're supposed to.
Sometimes they're that small these days, you may as well not wear them.
Well, Colthorpe's lost a footing at the crucial moment. But Beaumont won't have a problem here. Casey Dumont had a slight one.
Yeah, again, good pressure by Central Coast. They've really learnt from last week. They've got bodies pushing forward and they are attacking. You know, in that situation last week, Central Coast would have let just the keeper have the ball and it would have been cleared up towards halfway. Now they've got the ball around the edge of the box in good position.
Spackman with the throw-in.
Hunger has a big impact on the game, doesn't it, Cheryl? How much you want the ball as a player.
Yeah, and it is those little things just to do that little extra 10%.
Oh, Fletcher has done brilliantly. Here's a chance. No, Polkinghorne's there. Come out to Rollison on the left foot. Oh, and that's just a foot over the bar, but I think Dumont had its measure.
Not a bad effort for a left foot volley.
Yeah, that's a decent strike. Dumont is quite tall, so I think she's got that covered quite easily. But again, that's come from the fact that Central Coast put pressure on Brisbane in their own half down in the corner and got possession back.
Casey Dumont, one of the taller keepers. She's probably 183, 184 around the old 6-foot mark, and those gloves were up at crossbar height. Now, here's Heyman. Polkinghorne arrives in a flash.
It'd be nice to see Heyman get a ball like that and not actually wait for it, and then decide to do something with it. To actually come to the ball, get the ball, and just do something quickly with it. Biggest things in football, change of pace and change of direction. And right now, the Mariners aren't really pushing those two factors.
Heyman to Glowy. Nice change of direction there, but all that results is another throw-in.